Okay. Yes. Okay. Uh,
Oh,
yes. Okay. Just hold on. Let me. Yeah. So are you good? Okay. Let's start. Hello, everyone. Let's wait and see. Once anybody pops online, then we're gonna start soon. Okay. Just give me 1 minute.
okay.
Yeah. Oh, you're on time.
Oh, I was waiting.
Yeah. Just hold on. 1 minute, please. Okay. Yeah, okay. 1 minute. Let me notify friend. Okay. Oh, all right. We're gonna start. Then people can join in maybe afterwards. Okay. So you're
Okay.
welcome. You're welcome to my channel.
Thank you.
On my channel, if you've had time to check, my channel is Dr. Winkle Rogers. So on my channel, I use it to inspire people. I used to share information about scholarships, about jobs, about how to write CVs, how to hello favor sparks, how to write CVs, how to get young people. Yes, I'm not sure she can see your comments, but I'll like someone is commenting, so
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not seeing
Yeah,
anything
you cannot really
now.
see that. So um on my channel, all right, I talked about scholarships, like I said before, globally, be it in Korea, be it in Africa, Australia, Europe, everywhere, because my goal is to let a lot of people to be informed about these opportunities, because sometimes, based on my experience, a lot of people are not usually informed about scholarships and about jobs, especially the UN jobs, and a lot of people will want to work there. So I'm very excited to have you today on my channel so that you can share your experience and then give us tips on how to go about. Hello, my MJ, to go about applying for it, and just anything you which you feel
Mm,
as sharing. We will love to listen. Myself and my viewers and my subscribers, we would love to listen to your story. So I'm gonna let you first introduce yourself. Any way that you choose
okay.
to do it, then that's fine.
Well, I have prepared a PDF file, but I don't know where I can share the slide. Is there
Okay.
any
You can
any
share your screen if that's okay.
oh is
Is
there
it
any I don't know,
do you
I
have
can't find any option that I can
you can share your
share.
screen.
Huh?
But if like what I have on my screen, there is share screen,
I don't
invite, and
have it.
are you
I don't
using a
have the,
phone or what?
I'm using my iPhone.
Oh, that's the thing. Because if you were
Oh,
using your computer, you probably find a place where you can share your screen. But that's
oh,
okay. Yeah, that's okay. Like I said before during our chat before this, I told you it's going to be, like just be it formal or informal, any style you choose to pass the information,
oh,
it's okay. So I
okay.
want you to be relaxed as much as possible.
Because my laptop doesn't have proper webcam, so
Yeah. All
that's
right.
why
That's
I'm
fine.
accessing
Yeah, that's
this
okay.
iPhone, but I really want to share that PDF.
Okay, that's okay.
Um, hmm.
But if you cannot
Uh,
find it, that's
no,
that's
it's
fine.
in my laptop. The PDF is in my
Yeah.
laptop, but it's this iPhone I cannot share. That's the thing.
All right, no problem. Just just do it. You don't really need to share your screen. Maybe you can open your
Oh,
laptop and read. That's
okay.
yeah. So first I'll just want you to, if you can just introduce yourself, like who are you? Besides the fact that I know
Okay.
you, people would love to know who you are.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Uh, Thank you for inviting me this channel, and
Yep.
thank you, Dr. Wine Kwa, for introducing and inviting me this wonderful opportunity. So
Yeah.
my name is Hayoung Jeon.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Seoul, South Korea, but
Okay.
I have been working in several countries in Africa,
Okay.
especially in Zambia and Malawi. And I
Okay.
also have stayed in Kenya, and
Okay.
I also had some hospitalization experience in Ghana and Kenya. So
Okay.
I have been working for a lot of public health intervention and program and project, both
Okay.
in the UN and NGO.
Okay.
And for academically, I have one Master of Development Policy that
Yeah.
I studied in KDI School of Public Policy and Management.
Okay.
And also, I received recently. I received the one admission for another Master for Public Health for Development in London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine.
Wow.
That's how I am. And recently, I conducted my another job interview with UNFPA Ethiopia country office. So I am waiting my final outcome, which is coming this month.
Okay. Lovely.
Yes,
Cool.
that's who I
Yeah.
am. Yes,
Hopefully. So if your results come out perfectly, you be going to Ethiopia, right?
yes, sure.
Addis Ababa.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember spending. I studied. Actually, did my masters in Ethiopia for 2 years. You love the
Oh,
country,
that's
yeah,
good.
the
Yes.
culture, the food, and it's safe. Ethiopia is safe, one of the safe African countries, and they do welcome foreigners a lot. So
Yeah,
you
it's also
definitely,
home to African Union, so I really want to
yes.
go there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, of course. When you go, you should visit the African Union headquarters.
Yeah,
It's
it's
amazing.
actually the UN office is in the African Union
Oh,
compound.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, you've been there before, right?
I never been there, but I have
Okay.
searched it.
Okay, it's
The office is in the
yeah.
African Union compound.
Oh, lovely. You will like it. I remember when I was in Ethiopia, I visited a compound once. It was for a
Yeah,
conference purpose. So it's really a lovely place to visit. So I'm gonna ask you one more question. Like, how did it happen? Because you've listed your job experience working with the UN, especially in Africa. Like,
yes.
how how did you come about choosing to start from Africa? Like within the self,
Okay,
yeah.
well, actually, my first UN experience was not in Africa, it was in Korea.
Okay,
Uh, I started my internship in UNHCR South Korea in 2016.
okay,
So I was an admin intern, which was like supporting like office administration, communication, and translation for the document.
yeah,
But also, I also have been supporting some social protection intervention for the refugees and asylum seekers who are
mhm,
coming to South Korea.
yeah,
So it was just like internship, which was 6 months full-time non-paid internship. But
yes,
I have enjoyed and I have learned a lot. And
yeah,
that was my first experience to start like onboarding in the UN system. But I
okay,
have realized that working for just an intern in the UN is not enough to learn
okay,
about the whole UN system.
yeah,
And I have decided to commit myself to join the UN system and in the future as well.
okay,
And mostly like joining UN system, they
yeah,
need a lot of experiences as well as for like
mhm,
academic experience. And
yeah,
when I was doing my internship in UNHCR so here in South Korea, that time I didn't have my master. I only
yeah,
had a bachelor.
yeah,
And during my internship, I just decided to apply one master in Korea and I
Mhm.
got it and I entered my master. But
Yeah.
before my
Hmm.
internship in HCR, I
Yeah.
was working in Zambia
Okay.
for some public health program in NGO,
Okay.
and I have seen a lot of humanitarian settings and a lot of vulnerable populations. And I
Okay.
also did some volunteering Red Cross in Belgium.
Okay.
So I met a lot of refugees and asylum seekers. That's how I became interested in social protection for those like
Hmm.
migrants, especially for the refugees, and I joined the
Yeah.
UNHCR.
Okay.
Then yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. It's I find it very what you explained is very passionate, and I could pick out one thing. You talked about internship, non-paid internship, right?
yes, yes.
And where was that? That was in Seoul.
Yeah, it was in Seoul, so I was lucky that I'm staying with my parents
Yes.
and house is in Seoul, of course. So that's why I
Yes.
could go to office
Hmm.
and come back home. But
Yeah.
most of like international, even a local, when they're getting the like unpaid internship, sometimes they
Yeah.
even have to find their house
Yes.
outside of country. So it's
Yes.
not easy, but
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, because talking about unpaid internships. So by the way, guys, Seoul is one of the most expensive city in the whole world. It's I don't really have the statistics, but it should be within the top 10 expensive cities in the whole world. So uh Hyun worked there for free without
Yes,
being paid. So this
yes.
is one thing. Yeah, this is one thing about applying for international jobs. Like within Korea, it's a little bit okay, but within Africa and especially within Cameroon, to get job experience is really hard, you know. So I remember during my time when I started. Thank you very much, Sammy Escape Football. So during my time, I remember very well when I started applying for scholarships.
Mm-hmm.
So working experience was one of the things they need you to have in order to stand out. But to have a working experience, sometimes you need to volunteer, which is for us, volunteering is like internship for free. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
whole big thing which a lot of young people are not willing or some are reluctant to do. You understand? So what I want to ask you is when what encouraged you or what made you to like accept, to going for an internship which is non-paid, because I have a lot of currently I'm in Korea. I have a lot of Korean friends
Mm-hmm.
who will not go in for a non-paid internship program, but in your case you accepted it, and in Seoul, which is very very expensive. So what was the thing that
Oh.
yeah, like really made you okay, Hijan, you can go, you can do this. Like in my case, I had an aunt who or uncles who told me you there is no way you can do this. You have to volunteer. That is what pushed me. So in your own case, what is it that really encouraged you to volunteer to go in for non-paid internship?
Okay. Well, during actually when I was high school, actually I went to high school in US,
Okay,
and
great.
I really wanted to become a diplomat. But
Okay.
of course, I know that becoming a
Hmm.
diplomat with the Korean government is not easy, and it's very
Yes.
competitive. And since I have been staying out of Korea more than like 5, 6, 7 years,
Okay.
so I feel like okay, I want to work in the international organizations and visiting
Hmm.
the UN headquarters when I was in high school during my holiday to
Hmm.
New York City. It
Hmm.
inspired me to work in the UN system or like some international organizations.
Okay.
And I have been searching about the UN system and how people can enter the UN,
Okay.
and most of people told that people cannot join the UN without any internship experiences, and internship can be one of the good opportunity to get to know about the UN system and also expanding the network.
Mhm.
And that's what I have been trying, and
Mhm.
I wanted to work in the UN even though without any money. I just wanted to see how I can fit myself in the UN system.
Okay.
Yes, and since I was in Seoul, of course, still currently I'm temporarily in Seoul, but when I
Okay.
did my internship, I stayed.
Mhm.
I have been staying with my parents, so I
Okay.
didn't have any financial difficulties.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
because of
Okay.
my yeah
Yeah, of course, of course.
yeah
Like because in some cases, sometimes you might even have like the financial assistance or
mm-hmm.
parents' house where you can stay, but some people will want to make their own money. So, like you just said, your experience living in New York and
yeah
trying to fit it into the UN system is actually one of the thing which encourage you to want to work with the UN. And you
yes
did you did you did mention in while explaining how you got into the internship process, and then you talked about meeting some UN officials in, was it in Germany? What was that? So what I want to find out about networking.
oh
Yeah,
yes
yeah, that is a key
okay
word, networking. How much do you think networking can help someone to get to work with the UN?
well actually when I applied internship I didn't know anybody in the UN,
Okay.
but after I got my internship I started to know some people in the UN system, of course
Wow.
like UNHCR in Korea, but
Hmm.
uh let me just talk about my another UN experience in
Sure,
Zambia.
please
Yes,
go on.
uh I have been working in the UNFPA Zambia country office 2 years, and I left the country office last year 2020.
Hmm.
So my position was a Youth Health and Development Program Officer, which was higher than
Hmm.
intern. And I, of course,
Okay.
I also got
Hmm.
paid monthly
Okay.
pay, and
Okay.
even I was having a diplomatic status from the government of Zambia.
Okay.
So I was having some prioritizing position, and
Okay.
like normally like in the UN system, uh, in the UN they have to support the host country government as well
Okay.
as they have to work together with the non-government organization including
Hmm.
government and other academic. And
Hmm.
since UN actually is very big,
Okay.
since in Korea I have been only working in UNHCR, so I don't know any other UN people
Hmm.
in the Korea, but even in Zambia, I have been working in the UNFPA. So,
Okay.
UNFPA is one of the UN organizations,
Hmm.
but there is other UN organization such as like UNICEF or UNDP
Hmm.
like that. So whole UN organization in one country they call like UN country team or UN system. And normally, when people are working in one UN organization, they have some opportunities to meet other UN organization people or staffs. And sometimes there is some like capacity building meeting or knowledge management meeting or policy dialogue meeting that a country office or regional office organize together
Hmm.
in some countries. So my case, uh, I went to one monitoring evaluation resource-based management capacity building in South Africa,
Hmm.
which was held in UNFPA East and Southern Africa Regional Office.
Okay.
I have been that time I was working in Zambia country office, and
Hmm.
I didn't know any other UNFPA people out of Zambia. But
Okay.
because of that training, I was
Okay.
able to know more people coming from Kenya, Eswatini, or
Hmm.
South Africa,
Okay.
Malawi,
Yeah.
Botswana, Namibia, like that. So through a lot of like capacity building meeting or some annual meeting for regional program or some global program, then the
Mhm.
expanding network opportunity can be happening.
Mhm.
And yes, that's what I have been networking, especially during the meeting or
Yeah.
yeah.
So, wow. Yeah, because I remember I met you once during KDI.
Yes.
KDI, we're gonna talk about KDI as well. I
Okay.
remember you during KDI. So this is my impression of when I met Hyun during KDI. That was in 2018. Yeah, she was so outspoken. Like she is that kind of person when she is somewhere, she would love to talk to A, B, C, D, you know. So but some people like how would if someone who is an introvert, like
Mm-hmm.
intro like someone who is pretty shy, someone with a shy personality, how would you what is your advice to them when they find themselves in such networking meetings? What would you advise them to do?
Uh, well, I don't know, but like normally,
Mhm.
I am interested in like a lot of culture or like
Yeah,
language from
yeah,
different countries or different like background.
yeah,
So first of all, we just greet and we just talk about like, oh, how was your day or whatever. Then after their official introduction, then
mm,
I get to know their profile
yeah,
and their working history and
yeah.
their background.
Okay.
And since I studied in KDI, I know so many people coming
Yes,
from the continent.
yes.
So that's how I start. Oh, I also have a
Mm-hmm.
friend in this country.
Yeah.
They're working in the government, so maybe
Mm-hmm.
you know them.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that happened with me a lot.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, lovely. By the way, guys, KDI is Korean Development. What is I again for? Korean Development
Institute.
Institute. This is one of the biggest Korean. Like I plan to actually make a video about KDI because KDI has a lot of scholarships. KDI has a lot of scholarships for students, and those who come from Cameroon are mostly the diplomats, like high profile personnel that come from Cameroon to study at KDI for probably 1 or 2 years. So if Hyun just mentioned, if you happen to come across any Cameroonian who is studying at or who study at KDI at a certain period of time, there's a high probability he's a diplomat from Cameroon or he's from the Ministry of Finance. So that is the way you can go about, doing your network and then get to meet them and talk to them, and that's how you can get your way through. So now let's get into the UN, because a lot of people say I want to work with the UN. So could you tell or just briefly say, because you mentioned the UN is very big,
Mm-hmm.
right? So can you like share like different organs or like briefly tell about the different organs of the UN if you have any clue or knowledge about it?
Okay, so like UN has a sixth council. You
Okay.
know, like UN headquarters in UN Secretariat in the New York,
Yes.
and there are Security Council like ECOSOC or like there are so many councils. So even like people in the UN currently they don't know that kind of system because it's very big.
Yes.
And of course, like WHO is also part of UN,
Oh,
and
wow.
yes, it is.
Hmm.
And even WTO is also part of UN, but World Bank is out of UN. They are
Okay.
they are under the MEGA, like multi.
Okay.
Oh, what's that? I forgot the name. Multi international, some like financial group.
Okay.
Uh, so if you want to if you want to find some like vacancies in the UN, there
Yeah.
is a link called Inspira. So if
Okay.
you open the Google and you
Okay.
find the UN Inspira, that one is like a UN job searching homepage, which is
Okay.
organized and managed by the UN Secretariat.
Okay.
And there are so many job category like JPO, which is funded by the government
Mm-hmm.
or funded by the
Mm-hmm.
UN offices, or there is also YPP. And also personally for me, I applied YPP last year
Mm-hmm.
and I have passed my document, so I'm preparing exam which is
Wow.
coming next month.
Wow.
And YPP is very competitive process.
Okay.
They normally look for people less than 32 years old
Okay.
coming from misrepresenting country, because when you see the UN statistic category,
Yeah.
some member countries for the UN, they don't have that step category. So
Okay.
especially in Republic of Korea is one of the misrepresenting country this year.
Okay.
And in Kenya,
Yeah.
always there are so many Kenyans in UN.
Yes.
So that's why like a lot of young Kenyan they're not able to get the like a TO, because
Okay.
there are so many current UN
Okay.
staffs, especially in the senior management.
Okay.
Yes, so it depends on the government, I mean the country capacity, as well
Mm-hmm.
as how the country is contributing the finance or human resource to the UN. So
Mm.
in Korea, compared to financial resource, there are lack of human resource in the UN system. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why there are so many programs that government is encouraging young people to apply to job in UN.
Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, wow, that's lovely information. So what I get is geographical balance. Like
Yes.
some countries, some organs have less people from a particular country,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So, for example, if you're a Cameroonian, you need to check on what organ has less Cameroonians, and if you
Mm-hmm.
apply, your chances are higher, right?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Okay, great. And then how about gender? Do they
There.
give more preference to
No. No. No.
women
No.
than
No.
men?
No. 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 They don't.
They
Equal.
don't.
They have
Equal.
leave no one behind the strategy. So everyone is
Okay.
fair. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's interesting. Okay. And then one more thing, like how would you encourage a young person, like someone just from high school or starting a bachelor degree, who wants to work with the UN someday, like you? Like a little boy
Okay.
comes up to you, hey, like, I want to be like you someday. What would you tell that person?
It okay. So I want to talk about find out the interesting area,
Okay.
because and also try to become a specialist rather than generalist.
Okay.
Because in the UN, when
Mm-hmm.
they're hiring somebody, they want to someone who know the working area competency already. So that's why
Okay.
the UN is doing the competency based interview, which is like they were asking questions that tell us about the time, the teamwork that you did, and what was your role and what did you learn.
Okay.
They are not going to ask you what are you going to do when you're getting hired. They're not going to ask you like that.
Okay.
They are preparing. They look for somebody who is ready and who is get get able to start work in the first day. In the
Okay.
UN, there is no orientation. There is no
Okay.
official orientation.
Okay.
Of course, there
Wow.
is induction. Online induction is there, but
Yes.
normally, uh, they have to start their work from the first day of when they join. And that
Okay.
was my case.
Oh.
So just
Mm-hmm.
prepare. and try to get many experiences. But I think it's better to specialize in some sector. Like
Mm-hmm.
for in my case, I did my Bachelor of Chinese Studies and International Relations and Business Administration. So there is no any like technical specialty that I have.
Okay.
That's why I decide to find myself. What if I'm going to Zambia, which was
Mm-hmm.
2014, and I
Mm.
was working for the public health
Okay.
NGO, especially in maternal neonatal health, and
Okay.
I have been enjoying to work in that area. Of course, still I don't have any academic degree for public health yet, but since I have been working for public health background more than 4 years and 5 years, I feel like I am becoming the specialist or junior specialist for the public health program and monitoring evaluation. So there are so many sectors like not for the public health, but there are some sectors even for climate change or gender or
Mm-hmm.
like education or
Mm-hmm.
even entrepreneurship or
Yeah.
governance. So try to find some interesting area that he
Mm-hmm.
or she can work
Okay.
on. And
Wow.
also the language is important. Of course, English is basic and mandatory, but
Mm-hmm.
if he or she can speak French and
Mm-hmm.
Spanish together, there
Yeah.
is high chance.
Wow. There are high
Yes,
chances.
yes, because my problem is that I cannot speak French, so I'm not able to work in the French-speaking countries because I can't speak.
French.
Yes,
Oh, okay. I'm sure you're gonna learn soon when you have the time, or I can teach you French. So,
yes.
yeah, one more question. How does talking about academic, how
Mm-hmm.
does your academic performance influence your getting into the UN? Like someone during your bachelor degree, if you have a first class, second class, maybe third class, how does does it have any influence on your?
Normally, in the job application for the UN,
Yeah.
they're not looking the GPA.
Okay, good.
They just look at what did you study,
Okay.
and they even don't care about the name of the school.
Okay. Whoa.
If
Okay.
if it's like I believe if it's Harvard, yeah, maybe they're going to see,
Yeah.
but non Ivy League is just the same. Like
Okay.
even like Seoul National University, even like
Yeah.
University of like Cameroon or Korea, it's just the same level to the UN.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the name of the university is not important.
So the name of university is not really
It's
important.
not
Okay.
important, but it's important that what they have studied
Mm-hmm.
and how they have brought their study area to their work area or their
Okay.
volunteering or internship. So
Okay.
I know that like getting a job is not easy in the world
Yes.
after like graduating university. So
Yeah.
try to find out some like startup competition or try
Yeah.
to find some like core for paper.
Yeah.
Just try most many options.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And wow, that's really good information. And then again, let me ask someone like me, if I want to start the UN, I want to join the UN system now. Am I
Yes.
too old or am I too qualified or what is your opinion about someone having a
Um,
PhD already, masters like
there actually UN they prefer somebody who already have a master minimum.
okay, minimum.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
minimum
of course
masters.
it depends on the position level. It depends on the agency, but most of international professional level
Yeah,
they have to have a master minimum as
yeah.
well as minimum 2 years working experience.
Okay.
That's the minimum requirement for the professional level.
The minimum requirement. Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And then is there any specific time of the year when different organizations open up to receive applications, or it's
No, there
throughout
is
the year,
no specific time. Just you have to check every day.
every day?
That's how I'm doing.
Okay, yeah, you're right because even when you're very right because even when but well now I have a job, but when I didn't have a job, there is a website you should know that in Korean. It's called High. If you want academic jobs, it's High Brain. So you have
Mm-hmm.
to check every day. Like
Yes,
the job website is like the stock market. You have
yes,
to check every day because one position might come up that you're competent. If you don't hurry, another person
it is.
gets it. So is
So
it the
try
same thing?
to
Yeah,
apply as early as possible.
as possible. And then, what are the basic documents you need to apply for? Because, like for example, in academia, the basic requirements when you're applying for like maybe postdoctoral academic jobs, basic requirement you need to have your CV, your cover letters, your certificates, your sometimes they don't even care about your transcripts and your recommendation letters. Like most positions in the US, in Europe, in Korea, everywhere you have this. So with the UN system, what are the
Mm-hmm.
basic requirements you need to have handy in
Of
order to,
course, of course, CV, even like degree,
yeah,
and also transcript some case.
yes.
Also, like in addition, if somebody has a publication, then they can add
Okay, well, okay,
even
that's
some
great.
like certificate, like which is like a
Yes.
PMP or like
Mm-hmm.
PMS two,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to be appreciated.
Okay.
So that's
Oh,
why the you and they want professional
yeah, professional.
already.
Wow. Oh,
Yes.
that's great. Tell us about more about your experience in Africa. Let's start with Zambia. What was the best thing
Um.
you like? What did you really enjoy so much? Tell us about Zambia.
Oh, where Zambia is my second home.
Okay.
I have been stayed and worked in Zambia 3 years,
Okay.
and I have came back last year.
Okay.
So for me in Zambia, I started my first career in Zambia after my bachelor's,
Okay.
and I left, then I went back. So I
Okay.
feel like when I'm thinking about Zambia, I feel like it's my another home.
Okay.
Of
S-
course, the
mhm,
first year when I was working in Zambia for the first months,
mhm.
I couldn't settle down because there are so many road shading.
Yeah.
Even though there are a lot of like the road was not quite okay.
Mhm.
Like there are so many potholes that I was
Mhm.
not able to imagine. But I have been getting used
Mhm.
that life, and I have tried myself to become another Zambian. Even
Mhm.
I was not able to speak their language, but by the way, Zambia has 73 local languages, and
Oh,
their
wow.
official language is English.
Okay.
So I didn't have a lot of difficulties for me to communicate because everyone speaks English.
Okay.
And
Lovely.
I was trying myself to explore a lot
Mhm.
of like neighborhood and
Okay.
yes, so I really miss it. And
You miss Zambia.
yes,
How about the food in Zambia?
it's very nice, but it's very salty.
Very salty.
Yes.
Okay. And then Kenya. How was your experience like in Kenya?
Where in Kenya, I didn't work there, but I
Okay.
have been passing through so many times, like more than 10 times.
Okay.
So, and since I know how to speak some basic Kiswahili,
Oh, really? So
yes.
how do you say hello or hi in
Um,
Swahili?
Jambo, habari yako?
Oh my God, you're really good. I myself, I can. Swahili is one of the lovely languages in Africa, but I
But
can.
it's only speaking in East Africa, so I know that you cannot speak.
Yes, I can speak because I'm from West
Yes, I
Central.
know. Yes,
Yeah.
even in Zambia, they don't know how to speak Swahili except that border area between Tanzania. But most of
Yes.
Zambian they speak Nyanza or Bamba, which is similar language with Malawi.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. And with your experience again in Africa, like, how did your parents feel when you said, "Okay, mom, dad, you know what? I'm going to Africa." How did they feel
Okay,
about it?
okay. The first time when my father heard that I'm going to Zambia
Yeah,
after I finished my university,
yeah.
actually he was a little bit worried that, oh, what if you're not going to eat anything?
Okay.
But he has been searching,
Yeah.
and for me, I like to try the new experiences and new environment,
Okay.
so I was not scared.
Okay.
But of course, I didn't
Hmm.
know many things about the Africa. But since I studied in my high school in the U.S., and that time the president of the U.S. is Obama,
Oh
so
yeah.
I got to know some information of Kenya, and I
Okay.
had so many African American friends.
Okay.
So I heard about some country like Zimbabwe,
Yeah.
Liberia, like that, but I
Uh-huh.
didn't know where Zambia was that time because I never
Okay.
met any Zambian person. And
Oh.
so I felt like, okay, let me just go and see what's there.
Yeah.
So I just boarded the plane from Korea and I transit in Dubai, and from Dubai I landed in Osaka, Zambia. But I
Hmm.
really liked about the weather and nature. And then people were very friendly and they tried to get to know about me.
Yeah.
But one thing I actually didn't like it, most of people when they see Asian, they're thinking I'm from China.
Yeah, you're right. Like within Africa at the moment within Africa at the moment, a lot of people cannot really distinguish between um Korea, China, and Japanese.
Yes,
Even me, to be honest. But with me, when you start speaking, then I can say, "Oh no, you're Chinese, you're Japanese, you're Korean." That is how it is. And because a lot of people back home, a lot of us don't really have, and most people from Asia are the Chinese. Like Chinese, they are basically everywhere.
I know,
Like,
but
yeah,
they're
basically
supposed to
everywhere.
ask.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Because
right.
actually, they never ask me, they just assume
Yes.
and they start speaking Chinese, and I feel like, oh, why?
Yeah. And I heard like Zambia has a lot of Chinese, right? The
A
Chinese
lot.
population is a lot, right?
Yes, that's why even most of people in Zambia, they are saying that Zambia
Mhm.
is colonized by China.
Okay, wow. Because I remember even my professor when I met him in my first Korean,
Mm-hmm,
like because my story how I came to Korea, the first Korean I met was my professor in Ethiopia. He
mm-hmm,
was from Korean, very smart guy. Like we are still in touch. Each time I have like academia, if I have any trouble, I'm gonna write him. Then he's gonna reply.
mm-hmm.
So he was telling me when he was coming to Africa, his mom was so worried. Like he's a professor now, so his mom was worried. Like, is it not so hot? Are you not?
Ah,
And
yes.
he tells his mom sometimes it gets so cold to the point that he even needs sweaters and
Mm-hmm.
pullovers. You know, and it's
Yeah,
really, yeah, really something.
yeah.
You
Even
know.
when I was in Zambia 2014, there was Ebola virus in West Africa.
Oh
And
yeah.
that time I remember a lot of country,
Hmm.
they didn't want any people coming from Africa to enter the country.
Yes. Yes.
Especially in Korea, I remember I was in Zambia at that time, but
Yeah.
there are some club or coffee shop, they are
Yeah.
not
They will
allowing
not.
people coming from
Yeah.
Africa to enter.
Yeah.
Even there was some official meeting was
Hmm.
happening in Korea, but
Hmm.
they just didn't
Cancel.
allow people from Africa to enter this meeting.
Yeah.
And that Ebola was happening in West Africa, like
Mm-hmm.
Liberia, like Sierra Leone, Guinea. And
Yeah.
it didn't come to Zambia, and it's very far away, more than 7 hours, 8 hours by the plane. And
Exactly.
still, my father was worried about.
Yeah, talking about Ebola time, like how do you when your friends in Korea, like how when they ask you about Africa, or I mean, how do you tell them the story about Africa? Because
I
sometimes, yeah, how do you tell them the story? Like how do they, now that you've been to Africa a lot, Africa is like your second home, like you say, Zambia specifically. Oh, I think she just, so just hold on, guys. So we've been sharing, she's been sharing her experience about, okay, okay, just hold on. What happened?
I don't know.
Okay. I think maybe it was your phone or
Maybe.
yeah. So yeah, I was asking you, I was about to ask you, now that Africa is your second home, Zambia specifically. You see, I keep saying Africa because
Oh,
I've been in Korea for pretty long. So some of my friends say Africa, but sometimes I got to the point of to keep saying it's 54 countries to the point that
it
now,
is.
yeah, now I just keep saying Africa instead of saying Cameroon, Nigeria, South Africa, and all of that. So how do you get to tell your friends, like, this is a continent with 54 countries? Like, how do
It's
you get to do
55.
55? Oh, yeah.
Yes, under AU.
Yes, you're right. It's 55 because Sudan suddenly
Yes,
split into
even
two.
Western Sahara.
That's a new one, right? Oh, you see, you even know my, you know the continent more than I do now. So, how do you get to, tell people, like your friends in Korea, when they find out you're going to work in Africa? Have you ever had any, like, um, what are the comments, or how do your friends and people react to that?
Mm, well, they don't have many specific comments, but they
Mhm.
are asking in terms of like job security.
Yes.
That oh, especially like my relative, like my aunt.
Yeah.
She was worried about me that since I'm not becoming a government official,
Mm.
which is permanent job in Korea,
Yeah.
and she was asking, oh, why do you want to work in so many countries, and what about your marriage, and how are you going to find
Yeah.
somebody who can settle down with you,
Yeah.
and are you not tired of working in many other countries,
Hmm.
and meeting new colleagues and going to new different organizations? Are you not tired of it?
Hmm.
Actually, they don't care where I'm going to stay, but they're
Yeah.
just worrying about the job security.
Yeah. The job security.
Yes, but I just told them, oh, job security actually is not secured. All the job in the world is not secured, so it's the
That's
same.
true. Yeah, it's the same.
And for my personality, I cannot settle down in one country, which is very boring. I like to settle down in so many countries that I can learn from
Yeah.
their life, and
Hmm.
including their culture, even their food and their religion.
Yeah. Wow, that's love.
Yes,
That's, you're really right, because some people, they can't really get to stick to one place.
I can't.
They love moving. They like moving, like
Yeah.
from one country to the other.
Mhm.
So it's really, really something good. So before, because soon we're going to round off. We're going to round off. So here I'm trying to like within our chart, I'm trying to like summarize, what are the tips for someone who wants to apply for a UN job or a UN assignment in Africa or in any continent. Within the chat, you first of all said there is a website. I don't know
UN
if
Inspira, but
yeah, I don't know
list.
if yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna contact you after this. You send it to me so I can attach on the description box the UN website, and then oh, I forgot one thing. How about UN volunteering? Do you have
oh
any?
yes, actually, I also did UNV.
Yes. Would you
Yes,
mind saying something about that?
yes, it's also good opportunity. It's
Yes.
paid. It's
Okay.
paid
Yes.
job.
Okay.
So actually, when I was in Zambia, of course,
Mm-hmm.
I was working as a program officer,
Yes.
but the contract that I was working was a fully funded international UNV specialist.
Okay.
So, of course, for the UNV, there is a national and international,
Okay.
and there are university UNV, youth UNV, and UNV specialist,
Mm-hmm.
and also international and national. So, for those people who are working as a national UNV, they are
Mm-hmm.
paying less than they are paid less than international UNV.
Okay.
And
Okay.
UNV is also part of UN staff.
Okay.
They can get 100% medical insurance,
Okay. Wow.
and it depends on the country assignment
Mm-hmm.
or like security level of that host country. So, for
Okay.
example, working in Zambia and
Mm-hmm.
working in South Sudan is different.
Okay.
Working for South Sudan, they are paying more than in Zambia because South Sudan security level is AE in terms of like
Yes.
safety, but in
Okay.
Zambia the safety security level is A. So
Okay.
person who work in Zambia and the South
Mm-hmm.
Sudan, the person working in South Sudan is getting paid higher than the
Okay.
person in Zambia.
Okay.
Yes. And for UNB, there are national, international, and national UNB. They can work maximum 4 years in
Okay.
the agency.
Okay.
Yeah, but I heard most of national UNB in Zambia, who I know, they have been complaining that they have to pay their national insurance and tax everything.
Okay.
Yes, but I think it's good opportunity to understand UN system
Okay.
and to get to know many people. And since it's paid, at least
Yeah.
it's not like unpaid internship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I have one of my aunt who started with the UN volunteering.
Mm-hmm.
It was at the time she started then, and now she's really up the chain with the
Yes,
UN.
it can be working because even the UNDP Zambia representative,
Yeah, someone.
he is from France, but he also started his UN job with as a UNB, so it can be good starting as
Okay.
well.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I have a question here for you. How long does the assignment or volunteer last? The UN with the
Uh,
UN assignment, how long can a UN assignment last?
it depends on so like a burst over the
Hmm.
contract is initially they start with like 1 year or 6 months. It depends on the agency.
Okay.
So for my case, I was working 1 year first.
Okay.
Then the government of Korea, they have extended 6 months, and
Okay.
my another 6 months was extended by agency. So
Okay.
that's why I was able to work 2 years.
Okay. So wait, let me get it straight. So the UN assignment, which was solely sponsored by the agency and the Korean government, right? So
No,
you
it
were
depends on the program.
Okay, it
So
depends
some
on the program.
UNV is funded by the government of Korea or government of other country, but
Yeah.
some UNV is just funded by that agency. So it's
Okay.
different.
Okay. Awesome. And then
Yes.
yeah, the other question is how long does the the UN volunteer, I think she answered that one. It lasts maximum 4 years, right?
Maximum 4 years, yes.
Maximum 4 years. And question is, do you have any age restriction for to
Uh,
start the UN volunteering?
okay, so there is like university UNB, youth
Hmm.
UNB, and in UNB specialist. So
Okay.
for the youth UNB is between 23 to 29,
Okay.
but
Wow.
UNB specialist should be minimum 25 years old and have
Okay.
2 years working experience.
2 years working experience.
Yes,
And UN specialist, how long the maximum you
it's
can
also
work?
same.
4 years.
Yes.
Okay, wow. So what is the advantage for you to do to start with a UNV? What is the advantage you will have within the UN system? Like
Mhm.
someone who does UNV, what advantage will that person have over someone who doesn't do it and wants to get into the system?
Okay, so like when UN is hiring somebody, they
Yes.
normally prepare somebody who already worked in the UN before or
Okay.
who are
Wow.
currently in the system.
Okay.
So the person who is working in UNB
Yeah.
currently, and there is another person who never worked in UN before, and they
Yeah.
are doing interview.
Okay.
And the panel is going to think about, oh, this person already understands the UN system, but this person, they don't know what UN is doing, so we are not
Mm-hmm.
able to teach them. At least
Okay.
this candidate know much more about the system. So I think this candidate understand better
Mm-hmm.
when she or he is coming on the board. That's
Okay.
the issue. Like it's also related with some political implications that
Okay.
they prefer like somebody who was
Yeah.
familiar or who are familiar with the UN system.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
that's why, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then another question is there a chance of getting is there a chance of granting you a job after volunteering? Like when you after volunteering with a UN volunteer assignment,
Mhm.
what are your chances of getting a job with a
Of
UN?
course,
Uh,
it depends on person. It depends on agency. It
yeah.
depends on country.
Yes.
So, like for my case, uh,
Mm-hmm.
when before I finished my contract in Zambia country office, the
Yeah.
office wanted me to
Oh,
settle in, but the
wow.
problem was a lack of funding from the country office. So
Okay.
the funding in the country office is also important.
It's also
So when
important.
there is no funding for the country,
Yeah.
then the country office they don't have any like enough funding to pay the international people.
Okay.
Cause like paying the international staff it costs a lot. So
Yeah.
it depends on what agency, even like country office. So but when people are inside of the UN, there are so many opportunities that they can contribute to write the program proposal. And
Okay.
when program proposal is successfully granted by the donor,
Yeah.
then at least they can settle in for some more years,
Okay. That's
maybe as a consultant or like some temporary assignment.
okay. And then one more question is there can you, like, if you're volunteering, can you easily switch your contract halfway? Like while volunteering, you find an opportunity. Is it allowed for you to
Mhm.
move from volunteering before the end of your contract?
So like question
Okay,
is
for
that like
example, what I'm saying is you have a let's say when you sign your contract to volunteer, let's say
mhm,
you have a volunteer, you sign up to volunteer for 1 year,
mhm,
right? Then within that 1 year you find a job, you get a job. Let's just
mhm,
say you get a job with that's a job with the another agency within the UN. Can
Mm-hmm.
you leave
Yeah.
that volunteering
Yes.
unfinished to move to the other job? Is it
Yes.
allowed?
It's possible, but I think they have to pay back. They have to reimburse.
Oh, wow.
If the person is working in international,
Yes.
like out of country, then they have to make a reimbursement.
Okay.
But if in the local, then I don't think any reimbursement is happening. I don't know about the local UNB.
Okay. Oh. Then how about one more question? How about the one thing, criminal background check? Is
It's
it
mandatory
mandatory for
before
before
before yes
before you start working?
yes.
Okay. So that's a good one. So I'm gonna summarize so that we can round up. We've had a really good time to discuss with you. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. Thank you for sharing tips on how one can apply with to work within the UN organization. So I'm gonna upload this in my on my channel, and then if anyone has any question, probably I'm going your LinkedIn account. You can contact Keon through a LinkedIn account. So that will also be attached below. And to summarize the whole thing, you spoke about first of all, you spoke about internship, either having experience while you're still at your bachelor degree level. You can either experience get working experience through internships, which are sometimes unpaid, or volunteering, and if you must volunteer, there is what you call the UN volunteer, which is also a paid one. Then the UN has different organs. And
Mhm.
then there is a specific website, which I'm also going to attach in the description box for applying for UN jobs. And networking too is also important when you're already in the system. So we're gonna end it at this level. And thank you very much for sharing. And is there any final thing you want to tell or share with anyone who is aspiring to join the UN system one day? Any final thing
Oh,
before?
okay. Okay. So final thing is that the, if somebody want to work in the UN,
Yeah.
don't be afraid about the like job security because everyone in the UN they're competing each other.
Okay.
Because after the UN reform from 2019,
Yeah.
they normally try to evaluate the staff in terms of like capacity
Okay.
and like knowledge management. So there
Okay.
is no permanent job in UN. Of
Okay.
course, I know that permanent job is not going to happen in UN, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to change some like community even. I want to see people can make like in their like life with better ways through my
Yeah.
contribution. So if
Okay.
you have that kind of like passion or if you have that kind of contribution in the future, I
Yeah.
think that's okay.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're gonna end it here. Okay. Thank you very much, John. Bye.
Bye bye.
Yeah. So guys, thank you very much. That was Hyun, and she's shared her experience. So this is Dr. Rogers. If you have any questions, I'm going to attach my email address below so that you can reach out to me, or you can either reach out to Hyun, and we keep on building ourselves and growing together. Thank you.